At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce you to our graduation speaker for 2018. His name is John Simon. Coach Simon is the assistant head coach and running back coach at Arizona State University. In only 5 years of coaching college football, he has produced 3 1,000-yard rushers, 4 all-conference players, and 4 NFL running backs. Prior to his tenure at Arizona State, John Simon spent 3 years in the National Football League. In 2002, he played for the Tennessee Titans. In 2003 and 2004, he played with the Washington Redskins. Before entering the NFL, Coach Simon was playing football for Louisiana Tech University from 1998 to 2001, where he gained more than 4,800 all-purpose yards. He caught passes in 36 consecutive games as a 4-year starter at Louisiana Tech, which at that time was an NCAA record. He helped the Bulldogs to the program's first Western Athletic Conference championship and first bowl appearance in 11 years in his senior year. Coach Simon received the 2001 Humanitarian Award at the Humanitarian Bowl and was a recipient of Louisiana Tech's University's President's Award. Coach Simon is a motivational speaker, humanitarian, and chief executive officer of his own real estate company. He is married to his college sweetheart of 15 years, Cecilia Simon, who is an author of 2 faith-based books, The One Day Hope and Married to the Coach, which is a 31-day devotional for coaches' wives. He has 2 sons, John Simon IV, who is 12 years old, and James Simon, who is 11. Will you help me welcome from Arizona State University, Coach John Simon.
I'd like to begin by thanking the faculty and staff, the parents, and the student body for having me here today. It's an honor to be before you and celebrate with you. The last 30 days, as I've been preparing to speak today, I've written several speeches to find the right tailored message for the 2018 class. And in doing so, I found myself with several different speeches, and I could not decide on which one was the right one for you guys. So you're going to have to bear with me today. I'm going to give you about 6 speeches. Hope you didn't have plans for lunch. But what I want to do, I do want to highlight some of the points in those speeches in order to have an opportunity to try to reach as many of you as possible and speak into many of the lives as possible. My first idea that I came from the scripture reference Luke 19 and 11, and it's the parable of talents, and I'm sure you all are familiar with the parable of talents. Jesus is telling a story on how so many guys before him are gifted, and they're passing out talents, and one man received 10 talents, and the other received 5, and the other received 1. And the purpose of that message that I was going to share with you today was to understand that you're all gifted, that you all have talents, and it's according to the purpose that God has for your life. And it's not for you to compare your gifts and your talents to the man next to you, but to be thankful for what you have and give God the glory and go out and serve him with the talents that you have. Then I said, no, I want to prepare them for adversity, because we all know that in life there is ups and downs. And I want to reference Genesis 37 and talk about the story of Joseph, the son of Jacob, who had a dream and a vision of accomplishing great things in his life, and he shared that with those close to him, his brothers and his family and his friends, and they did not receive it well, and they devised a plan to have him killed, and they sent him out. They went out into the wilderness, and they dug a pit 6 feet deep, and they put Joseph down into the pit, and they decided they were going to kill him, and Joseph was going to die that day in that pit. But the scripture said that through adversity, God was with Joseph. And brothers decided to bring him out of the pit and sell him into slavery. So Joseph went down, but he came back up. And Potiphar, a king, passed by on the road where he was for sale, and they sold him into slavery. Joseph then went back down. And the story says, again, that but God was with him and he had favor. So serving the king, he became number 2 and served and had the rights over everything that the king owned. He was the king's man. Joseph went up again. Joseph was accused falsely of a hideous crime, and Joseph was then sent to prison. Again, the scripture says that God was with him. So though Joseph went down, he eventually would rise again and become the number 2 man over the prison and make all the decisions second to the warden. From there, Joseph would come out of prison and go and walk into his purpose, and you know the story, he would become the ruler and the leader over all and have an opportunity to serve. So my point of that purpose of that message was to share with you that there will be ups and downs in your life, but just remember, though you go up and though you go down, it does not decide how high you will go, and understand that God shall be with you. But then I said, no, I want to get them to focus, because focus is very important for the next stage of life and where you're going. And I wanted to reference Matthew 14 and 22 and talk to you about the disciples being out on a boat and a storm arising there, and they're panicking and they're calling out for help and they're calling out for Jesus, and they look out into the waters, into the storm, and they see Jesus walking towards them. And Peter responds, he said, well, Jesus, is that you? We all have that one person in our family, in our class, in our group that's bold, that's willing to step out on faith and do what no one else would do or say what no one else would say. So Peter asked, Jesus, is that you? Jesus says, yes, it's me. He said, well, bid me to come if that's you, God. And God said, well, Peter, simply come. So Peter begins to walk on water, and there's a storm around him. There's winds, there's noise, and that was the reason Jesus appeared. And Peter is doing the impossible. He's walking on water. And the scripture text says that Peter noticed the storm and the winds around him, and he began to sink. The purpose I wanted to bring that to your attention is that, remember, the reason that Jesus was there is because there was a storm. The storm was there the entire time. The winds, the distractions, the haters, the doubters were there the entire time. But Peter had his sight focused on God and on his goals, and he was able to do the impossible. And when he gave his attention to the negative situations around him, then he began to sink. So I was going to use that message to tell you that keep your eyes focused on God. Keep your eyes focused on your goals, regardless of the distractions around you. I finally settled on the message that I wanted to convey. And as you transition from childhood to adulthood, I wanted you to understand that the time has come for you to recategorize your dreams into goals. See, as a youth, we've all had dreams, and you all have dreams and things that you want to accomplish. And as you grow, as you get older, that list gets smaller. And as that list gets smaller, the successful ones that accomplish their goals and accomplish their dreams came to the realization that they had to transition their dreams and recategorize them as goals. They had to set a plan in action. They had to take steps. They had to outline how they were going to achieve those goals. See, today is a step towards your goals that you have set for your life. Graduation. Some of you have big dreams and big goals. There are going to be multiple steps that you're going to have to take to accomplish those goals. But as you make this transition, I want you to understand that it's time to stop dreaming. It's time to set goals. James 2:18 says, show me your faith by your works. James 2:26 says, faith without works is dead being alone. Don't just hope, don't just wish, don't just dream about making a difference in this world. Be the difference in this world. As I close, I want to leave you with 4 points today. 4, set goals for your life. Remember, Luke 19:11 says, God has a plan for you and has gifted you for a specific purpose. 3, there will be ups and downs in life. Remember Joseph's story in Genesis 37. Regardless how high or low you go, God shall be with you. 2, have the type of faith that you can walk on water, just as Peter did in Matthew 14 and 22. Don't be distracted. Distractions will arise. You have to remain focused on your goals and on God. 1, you serve the one and only true living God. Matthew 17 and 20 says he has equipped you with the faith to move mountains. Nothing shall be impossible. Thank you.